Hello sewing friends, this is Shawnee's. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. In this video, we're going to do a shoulder width adjustment and a shoulder slope adjustment. Let's go ahead and get started. So the seam allowances have been removed, 3/8 of an inch around the front collar, 5/8 of an inch on the shoulder and at the armhole. And I've marked in that I need to remove 1 inch from my shoulder width, and I need to drop my shoulder slope down 1/2 inch. We're going to think in terms of a quadrant, and so what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line that is at a right angle to the center front, and it's going to be in the middle of our armhole. So the middle of our armhole is about right here, and I'm going to make sure that one of my rule lines is on the grain at a right angle to the center front, and I'm going to draw a line. And then from the shoulder point, I'm going to go in 1/2 inch. Just going to measure here's 1/2 inch right here. And I'm going to draw a vertical line that is at a right angle to the line that we just drew here. So this is going to be our shoulder quadrant. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out. Here we have the shoulder piece cut out, or quadrant, and I am going to take my tape measure because I want to go in inch, so I need to take 1 inch off the width, and also I want to come down 1/2 inch, so I'm going to put my tape measure there, and I'm going to mark where 1/2 inch is. And I'm going to redraw the line, and I'm going to use pencil because I don't want that line to be confused with this line for other changes that you might want to make. I'm just going to draw a short line there. So our line is right here. And so what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you keep your quadrant. So I'm going down 1/2 inch. Oh, I forgot to draw a line back up here. So I'm going to make sure that I have a right angle here, and 1 inch in, I'm just going to draw a light line because that's where I want to end up. So here, this is where we were. So I'm going to drop my shoulder down 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to bring it in 1 inch. So that's not an actual inch, I messed up. Don't do that. That would be 2 inches. Because when you overlap, you want to take your both pieces into account. So if I were to come in 1 inch like that, that's actually 1/2 inch. That's a whole 2 inches that I'm getting rid of, because this here is 1 inch, and then when this overlaps, this would be 1 inch. So to come in 1 inch, you would actually come in 1/2 inch. I'm actually glad I made that mistake. So now when I have an overlap, I have the overlap of 1 inch. So I'm coming down 1/2 inch, same thing at the bottom. Oh my gosh, same thing at the bottom. So I have to do the same thing for the bottom. Completely slipped my mind. So even though I need to come down 1/2 inch because of the overlap, I really only need to come down 1/4 inch. Okay, so here's where we were before. So my slope is, I need to take 1/2 inch out the top, so I'm going to come down 1/2 inch here, and then I need to go, 1/4 inch. I'm coming down 1/4 inch because I need to take 1/2 inch off my shoulder slope. So I'm coming down 1/4 inch because remember, there's 1/4 inch right here, and there's 1/4 inch on the overlap, and those two pieces are taking out 1/2 inch total. And then I need to go over 1/2 inch because remember, there's There's already a 1/2 inch here, and there's going to be a 1/2 inch on this flap. That 1/2 inch plus the other 1/2 inch is 1 inch. So I have my new piece here. I'm going to make sure that everything is nice and lined up. And then I'm going to secure it with some tape. And then you'll get some paper to put behind here. So I'm going to put my paper behind my pattern piece. I'm going to secure it with tape. And so now what I want to do is connect my new shoulder point at the shoulder with the shoulder point at the neck. I'm going to connect those. And I'm going to redraw my line. Because I can't draw it right over the tape, I just drew my line first. So if you look right here, that's a little bit that we're adding to. So right here is what is being removed, and right there we're going to add that on. And because I don't want to miss that, I'm going to put a piece of tape over it. So when I cut, I'm going to cut straight up that line. So that takes care of the shoulder slope. And now we need to redraw our armhole. So this is where our shoulder is going to be. And then we have to fill in and get this shape back. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fashion ruler and I'm going to fit my curve here to the best of my ability. So I'm not going to try to redraw any of this area right here because this is our original stitching line. So I'm actually coming to right about the middle here. And I'm going to go up to my new shoulder point. And I'm just going to mark that line. Then you can see this is where we're adding. We're adding right here, and then we're taking a little bit off right here. So now that I have my line drawn, I'm going to go ahead and secure it with some tape. I am sure that there is tape that you can write on with a pencil, but they don't have that at the dollar store, which is actually now the $1.25 store. So I'm going to go ahead and move my pattern out the way here. And I'm going up here. And then I'm going to turn my pattern sideways so that I can cut my new line here for my shoulder slope. And so now when we look at our pattern, you can cut this X off. You can cut the excess off of the white paper behind here. And this is where we removed some at the shoulder. We've added some here at the top, just a little bit. And we've added some here. So this is our new shoulder. So you make that change to the front. You make it to the back. You make sure you put in your notches for your shoulder seam, and you put your markings for your sleeve, and then make a muslin or do a tissue fit. And I hope that this works for you. But those are the movements that you would need to take. Draw those lines, move the pattern in to get the width that you need, and then move the pattern down to get the slope that you need and redraw it. So I hope that works for you. I'm Shawnice. Thank you for watching. Subscribe.